Well, hello everyone, and I am Tiny on here. Let me see if I can fix that. And I didn't fix that. Maybe I just need to go over here. Ah, that worked okay. Sometimes I never know where I need to be, but here I am, and here we are, and it's Friday night, and I hope you guys have had a really nice week, a good week, one of those weeks that you wish every week was just like that. My week wasn't like that. Excuse me. My week has been a bit stressful, a bit emotional, a bit much, just a bit much. I think we all have those sometimes. One of the things I learned this week, and I had a meeting with one of my, I guess, the core people for the employee resource group that I co-founded with someone in the company that I work for. And it is for people who are older in the company because there was nothing for them. And we are having an event in a few weeks, and I'm doing a couple of different activities. And for the closing of one, and I'm not going to read what I was going to say or anything because I can't, because I will just start bawling. But I was talking about my mom. And as I was reading it during our meeting today, I just started crying. She was like, I can do the closing. I'm like, okay, good. I'm like, I am not going to be able to do this. She was like, I think emotion is good. I'm like, no, I'm just going to lose it. I'm just going to absolutely lose it. But I think it is a good story. So, and it's very small to incorporate within it, but it just is something that is just too close to me that I would just, be a blubbering mess. And, do you really need that when you're going to something, that's a corporate event that's one of the hosts is like a blubbering mess? Probably not. So, yeah. Um, so thankfully, oh my goodness, I did not change the colors for this. I've got to do that real quick. And I'll say hi to you guys. Um, where is that stinking thing? There it is, design. You know, I think I have everything done and I leave something out that just happens. But you know what? There's just worse things in the world, is the way I'm going to look at it. Let's not change it to that. That's not what I want. I want a different color. Okay, there we go. I want that, I think. Actually, more. Okay, we're going to go with that, I guess. We'll go with that. And I'll change it. No, that's not the color. I'm just not happy, guys. I'm not happy with the color. I don't have the little Cody thing. Okay, that's good enough. We'll just stick with that. That's going to work. Okay. All right. Hello, Joe. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you so much for sending me that video. I really appreciate that. And oh my goodness, I got a pink hand waving from Nev. Thank you so much. Hey, Violet. Great to see you. Always great to see all of you. How is the pain doing? The pain is there. It's not that bad today or right now, thankfully. My arm's bothering me only because I've been working on what I'll be presenting at the conference, the Multi-Level Marketing, the Consumer Protection Challenge conference, which is going to be in May 8th and 9th, as far as I know, unless something changes, which, sometimes things do change. But that's what I know as of now. And my focus is going to be on, I guess, kind of the title. Maybe I'll come up with a jazzier title. I don't know. Maybe you guys can help me. But on elder abuse and elder fraud in the world of multi-level marketing, because I do think that is something that you don't really see the focus on that. Many people talk about the young moms, young people getting involved in this, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, now that I've covered ONPASSIVE for as long as I have, and I've seen some other ones that also are, doing this too. I'm like, this is something that's going on, and it's not just an isolated event. So I think it's important to start looking and seeing, well, which ones are actually really going after this particular demographic? Because this particular demographic, they don't have the opportunity to spring back like people who are younger for many reasons, you know? And I think it is, and thank you. Yeah, Violet, I think it's a very, very important side of all of this. And so, I guess I will be banging that drum, so to speak, and, finding those. And if you guys, find stuff, please, let me know about it. And I do need to like restart my Facebook group or something. I think I finally figured out how I could get back into Discord on the damn laptop again. Goodness. And I'm, considering getting another laptop because I really need to get everything in just like one space because it's just all over the place. Plus, this one, something happened and it doesn't really close. So, yeah, and I'm going, how am I going to be able to do that? I'm not quite so sure, but I'm going to try. And then I'm still, working on the soap, and I'm still working on the scent that I'm hoping to launch, but before Mother's Day, I'm doing because of my mom to, really honor her. But, it's just a lot going on, and I don't know how much. I'm just one gal that I will be able to accomplish, so to speak. But anyway, so today we are going to be, I will be sharing with you, because I'll be reading it to you and we'll be discussing it and all that kind of stuff, a story about, Enagic, that particular MLM. And you're going to be hearing about this alleged passive income. I mean, we're familiar with, this journey of being in passive income, of how it's just going to keep coming to you. I mean, you do need multiple streams of income. And I mean, that all sounds great and grand and all of that until, you've signed up and then you find out that it's not exactly what was sold to you. And what I think about this is that any of these stories, it's like, you really could put it with slap any name of any other organization like this, such as, ONPASSIVE. Even though there's different aspects to it, I am hoping that people who have been involved with ONPASSIVE is that they will stick around and they will hear things about other organizations so that they'll realize what they've been through is not necessarily unique. Now, it is unique in terms of you don't typically wait around for years for a damn actual product. That's very atypical. But in terms of the tactics and in terms of the manipulation and all of that, that in and of itself is not unique. The thinking everybody is your friend and it feels all wonderful until then it's not, that is not unique. So, I mean, there's other things too, but you guys kind of know what I mean. Hey, Mr. Love, I was thinking about you earlier. How are you doing, my love? I hope you are doing very well. Very, very well. So that's what we are doing. So, I guess I should get to then, shouldn't I? So I do have this pulled up over here, but I have to have it pulled up on the other side so that I can read this damn thing, because I'm not going to be able to read all of this text because it's going to end up like being too tiny for me. And gotta fix this up. So here we have it. The dream team or the nightmare. Mike and Darren's business. Enagic's commissions. What to expect when you become a part of this business, explained step by step by a former member. Now, I do not exactly know when this was sent to me in terms of like what year, let alone who sent it to me. It's been a minute, but I've had it, kind of tucked away as I do tuck things away. That's just how I do. Hey, DTI, how are you doing, my dear? And so I had this tucked away and I'm like, okay, you know what? It's time for us to look at this. And I was hoping that we would get to it last week. And I think that's the one that we were on here like, forever and a day. And that, we spent the night and, basically camped out. All right. So the next page, and where is it? Okay. All right. So we have the introduction, part 1. All that glitters is not gold. Watch out for Facebook ads. Part 2, the eyedropper. How to dose information so you don't run away. Part 3, the dream team, your host family in the online world. Part 4, living on illusions and dying of disappointment. Enagic and its commission chart, Mike and Darren's digital marketing platform. Part 5, abracadabra, training is unlocked. Prepare your pocket for Facebook advertising expenses. Part 6, the masterminds, how to stay hooked with the law of attraction. Part 7, who is successful in this business? Niche, chance, and ingenuity. Conclusions, from every failure, a learning experience. Yeah, Joe, it could have been from 6 years ago. Who knows? But, we're looking at it now. Oh, I'm trying to turn my page the way I need it to turn it for you guys. Jeez, I've got issues. And I don't know if you guys can see all of that, but you know what? I'll be reading it to you. Introduction. Hello, welcome. If you are here, you're probably thinking of starting an internet business through a person whose advertisement has attracted you, but is not giving you all the information you need to make important financial decisions. It is likely that he is only showing you the overly sweetened pros and benefits of the opportunity he is presenting to you. And that is something that could be said about any of these alleged opportunities, how they do like to show you, the good life, the good things, so that they paint it all roses. There's no thorns, none whatsoever. This written work is about my experience with the Dream Team and Mike and Darren's sales funnel digital marketing system for high-cost products coming from Enagic, a Japanese company specializing in water purification and I can't say this damn word. Hello, Martina. Alkalizing machines. With these reflections, I do not intend to generalize, but to offer valuable information that I would have liked to receive from the beginning. I know some members of this system who have had results, but unfortunately, they have been a few among thousands. When I came into this business, I fell in love. Well, I fell in love with the premise that I was almost certain to succeed with my effort and dedication. I liked the idea that it was made so explicit that it was not an overnight enrichment scheme. It made me confident because it was very clear to me that no great wealth is generated quickly. They specifically proclaimed that it is a 90% done for you proven system, meaning that it is up to you to make 10%. And if you don't succeed, it is because of some fault of yours, because what they offer is to ensure success. But despite all the investment, study, Hours of dedication and creativity wasted to do better than the competition, it did not work for me, nor for most, despite the 1,000 success stories that you will discover when you join the private Facebook group, The Dream Team. Modesty aside, I consider myself pretty good with technology management, content creation, copywriting, and digital issues in general, operating on platforms, social networks, etc. I do not intend to affect anyone involved in the business, but to offer detailed information on the access process until you become a distributor, a process that they have planned giving information in dribs and drabs. Why is this the case? This will give them the opportunity to gradually convince you along the way with the use of marketing strategies. Okay, I got to change it for you guys. Getting to it. Which have important psychological foundation. It's like brainwashing to a brain that is ready to be brainwashed. Such brainwashing is based on strategies that are not illegal, only ethically dubious. This is generally what happens with MLM systems. Ding, 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 ding. It most certainly is. You come into this group needing people to trust, since you know many have been duped on the internet. Financial needs to be met, time to spend with your family, a chance to fire your boss, etc. And you're going to find group encouragement to get it done. Or at least you're going to feel that way right off the bat until you hit the reality. My ultimate aspiration is that this information allow you to make better decisions and not have to face an agonizing process in which you will feel like you are taking blind steps. Information about this system on the internet is scarce, although in the last year, more reviews have appeared on YouTube and other channels where people have exposed their experiences. In part, this is because they don't have a particular name. For example, the private group is called the Dream Team, but you don't find this out until you pay the $149 the company that provides the products and commissions is called Enagic. But you don't find this out until you pay the $149. Some people recognize it by the names of its creators, Mike and Darren, a Canadian couple who call themselves online mentors. Certainly, by not identifying the business with a defined public brand, they go unnoticed, and it is more difficult to find information about them on the internet. It is a relative lack of identity that protects them, while they remain actively operational, recruiting people with advertising on social networks, but in a personal name, that is, under the name of the person who makes the advertisement. And that's all very sick. Come on, go down for me. Go down. Okay, thank you. All right, change it for you guys too. See, I'm remembering it. Aren't you guys proud of me? On the other hand, when you join, they ask you not to share information outside the group, neither the name of the private group, the name of the company, and basically nothing. From what I have learned from combined testimonials, this couple has initiated several legal proceedings against those who expose or criticize their system on the internet. It's always suspicious when there is so much to hide, isn't it? About Mike and Darren, online mentors, you can find some articles in digital newspapers. Don't be dazzled by this because it doesn't mean public or official recognition. In these days, The easiest thing in the world is to pay newspapers to write an article about your business to give you publicity or interview you. Be aware of this. And if you guys remember, I did do a stream in which I went over the where they're paying, what they have joined, paying to put out articles about them. So it kind of gives the illusion that, they're known and that they're important and that they are gurus of sorts. To illustrate, one such article appears in the Prague Post. And you can see Darren and Mike, online mentors on running a successful online marketplace. Everyone wants to succeed in life. Everyone wants to spend time with their family and children. Many want to travel, to live their experience to the limit without depending on a boss, a poorly paid schedule and salary, or maybe well paid, but that still doesn't make you free. Change it for you guys, and I'll change it for myself. This is the premise with which the system plays, because they know that many out there, probably most of us, as I was, are in a situation like this and are looking for adventure in the online world. They will offer you the solution on a golden platter. All right, and now we go to part one. Part one, not all that glitters is gold. Be careful with Facebook ads. One day, while checking my Facebook wall, I came across a paid advertisement of a girl who was living the dream of her life, an immigrant living in the United States. I really identified myself with that ad. One thing you'll find out later when you get into the business and learn how to make ads like that is that when you create an ad, you can choose who you want to see your ad. This girl probably defined her audience with many aspects that I would certainly identify with: similar education and profession, immigration status, taste in certain hobbies. Nowadays, you may find hundreds of these ads on your wall from different people, most of them very similar. Let's take one of them as an example and analyze its structure. I'm a regular licensed practical nurse from Alberta, Canada, and I look for something virtually to help me achieve the change that I want for my family. That change is spending more time with them. Little did I know that a simple person like me can start a global digital business through simple steps explained in our live workshop held every Tuesday and Thursday. A virtual business with no traditional selling needed. I am not good with those. It does not require a technological wizard, as systems will all be managed. It does not require cold calling or pushing sales, as a system will do this. I was afraid and skeptical at the beginning, but I tried it anyways. That was the best decision I have made so far in my entire career. There is no perfect timing for anything. All we have is now, so go after what we want. I realize deeply that the present moment is all that I have and that any action is better than no action. Connect with me and show interest by sending me a message or by typing below interested, and I will show you the few simple steps I've learned. Thanks for your time. Hey there, Queen. How are you, my love? Change it for you guys, and then I'll change it for myself, and I will have to get a sippy poo. Oh, here's my sippy poo. Another case where you can distinguish a pattern. Are you in search for extra source or plan B? What is your goal that leads you to search for other? Let me share to you mine. Hi, I'm Charlotte from Manitoba, Canada. I always wanted to do good and give best for my family. Help with our expensive, give the best education for my children, support my parents back home, and extend help to people who are in need and save for our golden years. When I came here in Canada, I worked hard for my three different jobs in one company. I worked as a line cook, dishwasher, and a cleaner to be able to earn more, as I have my own family and parents to take care of. I was in my maternity leave when lockdown starts because of pandemic. My company was affected. I wasn't sure if I have work waiting for me after my leave. I became worried. How am I continuously help my parents? Then I searched for other way. Thankfully, I found this digital business that's teaching people from all industries on how to build business and earn at the digital world. I watched their workshop. I did the training and I have my digital business set up. I'm successfully running my digital business while I'm with my two young kids and work at my convenient time and on my way of achieving my goals. I'm so grateful I found this business that shows me a huge potential that I can build something great and how to have better life for my family and hope to build a legacy for my children. This business is for everyone, no matter who we are or how busy we are. The system works for anyone without experience. Legit registered. All we need is determination to change a lifestyle for the better and willing to learn. I would love to share this information to you and show how this will work for you as well. Come check this out. Watch our complimentary workshop to see for yourself. Tap the learn more or drop more info below. Keep safe and healthy, Charlotte. Okay, and I will change it for you guys. I already changed it for me. In a general sense, these are not the most recognizable parts in them. I also did something similar. 1. An introduction. I am so and so with profession such and such. I come from such and such place, and I have gone through such and such jobs and difficulties in my life. This first testimonial part is important because if the target you have designed matches you, you will feel identified. On the other hand, it will give you confidence to see the face of a real person with his family. What are their desires and aspirations in life? Spending more time with their family and children and not being tied to a 9-to-5 job, not having a boss, being the owner of their time, etc. In other words, what everybody wants. 3. What have you found to solve it? What have you found to solve it? An online system to create your own business with features that are all positive. You don't have to do traditional selling like phone or door to door. You do not have to have previous experience or technology skills because you will be given step-by-step marketing training on a platform that you will have access to once you have become an Enagic distributor. It doesn't matter where you come from, your nationality, education, or lack thereof, whether you are a housewife, a professional in the arts or sciences, a truck driver, or a street vendor. Whether you're a Filipino or a Colombian, it doesn't matter. All you need is a willingness to change for you and yours. You will have a community that will support you all the time. You will have a personal mentoring coach. You will pay taxes as with any legal and serious business. The invitation to a free webinar on Tuesdays and Thursdays to expand information which does not make you clear anything, but has the exclusive purpose of hooking you more. The text will be accompanied by a video, an image, or a set of them carousel with an attractive title. This is an example. Dream big, live big. Learn how to start a digital business. Quite common. You'll see lots of family photos for the sake of showing the time you will have to share with them thanks to your business. Let me see. Okay, just making sure that we're going to the same place here. Um, so you'll see lots of family photos for the sake of showing and have time to think. Okay, trips and smiles, smiles and more smiles. Happiness has to be explicit and palpable. Palpable. That's it. Palpable. Gosh, I can't talk. In many cases, the success will be faked. For example, the girl in the second example who claims to be successfully developing her business, well, she hasn't introduced anyone to the dream team, i.e., no one has joined her business through her ads. She's not even currently running ads. If you don't want to pretend and blatantly lie, you will at least give the image that you have found the best deal of the century, an unmatched opportunity. The latter might be strictly might the latter might not strictly be considered lying, but withholding information. You will say all the supposed pros and no cons, although in truth, you still have no proof to affirm its functionality. It's just that image. Who else would be interested? You need to attract people. You will only grow your business with those who buy from you. Therefore, you will falsify a little in all your texts. The woman from whom I got into the business, my mentor, had a similar background to mine, came from the same country, and had achieved the things I wanted to achieve, had gotten to where I wanted to get to. This could not go unnoticed. I had to contact her. I was thrilled. Sometime later, I concluded that you can't let emotions and excitement override your ability to accurately assess what ground you are treading on. But believe me, that is very hard to assess when you are seeing everything fits perfectly, that everything has a proper answer, that everything proves that you have found a great online business opportunity. When you don't find anything negative on the internet and when you trust the person, how could I not trust a fellow countrywoman who had faced the same difficulties as me to achieve her dreams and give better opportunities to her loved ones? I'm trying to scroll it down for me. Okay, there we go. And change it for you guys. All right, and another sippy poo for me. Selling a 5K USD water filtration system. Those will fly out the door, right? But, think about the trifecta that is like 10,000 that they really want you to sell. And they'll tell you that you can finance it. Part 2, the big teller. How to dose information so you don't run away. Okay, we are ready. We are already involved to the hilt. We think we have found the business of the century, although we still don't know what it's all about. Working from home and making the sums that will give you the desired financial freedom while your business works in the background. This is a tune that you will hear and possibly say 1,000 times. While I do this and that, my business works in the background 24/7. By this, they mean that your ad is posted on Facebook, and Facebook is in charge of showing it to the target audience you have defined in your campaign, but not that it is running. You will contact the person because you want to have a little more detail. At the end of the day, you are supposed to invest. You are going to put your money to start your own business, which in the end will be far from your business. And nobody wants to lose their money, right? Information is currently the most powerful weapon. Therefore, You will ask for information to that lucky person whose ad attracted you. But what was what is she going to tell you? In the training, you are taught to give answers that are as terse as possible, encouraging you to get more information when you pay the modest amount of $149. Everything you want to know is on the other side of taking the plunge, they usually reply. Or watch the workshop and you'll get more details. But the workshop, webinar, or free class of about an hour and a half is pretty vague. It's also meant to get you excited about starting now, but it doesn't really tell you how or what product pays those high commissions you'll receive. There are prepared answers that they advise you to use when you start in the business and are interested in an interested party asks you. You may have already received an answer similar to this one. We've put together a system that provides all the training and automation for your business startup, marketing, and product with mentorship and support from a large community of successful entrepreneurs. No sales, no bugging your family and friends. Uh-huh. Doesn't this sound great, guys? Geez, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get to where I need to go. Okay. And now I'll change it for you too, because I'm just that nice. Well, with an online business, you choose your hours and work from anywhere there is Wi-Fi. The internet is an infinite pool of customers at your fingertips. Register your first name and email at your landing page, and more information and next step will be sent to you. If you're looking for an online business within a supportive community, you have found it. But if you insist too much because evidently it is not clear to you, they will give you the following arguments again. These are pre-designed answers that all active users can use to answer to their interested parties as it is placed in the training. The workshop is only 90 minutes long because it explains the basics of our business model. Once you pay that refundable $149, you will receive our pre-coaching videos in your inbox. They reveal the products, explain the commissions, and everything else you need to know. You will also get added to our private Facebook group where you can see everything for yourself. There are so many layers to this business that it would be really hard to explain everything within 90 minutes. And we also don't want to overwhelm people. Or we use Facebook advertising to attract people like you and I who are looking for another business opportunity in life that can provide us the time freedom we want in life. More answers. Our main role within this business model is to help others work through our training site to get their business up and running. We teach everyday people how to use social media and specifically Facebook to generate income. You don't have to do any selling, just the marketing part or hi name. All the answers to your questions are on the other side of deciding to join. The webinar is only an introduction and is not able to cover all the material in the allotted time. Everything is explained in detail after you join, and the free to join is refundable. After you've looked at the business and decide it's not for you, ask for your money back. Change it for you guys. There we go. Get it adjusted for me. That is to say, from all of it can be clear that they will teach you how to use social networks to do lifestyle or attraction marketing. Once again, that ad that attracted you on Facebook about how good life is having found on this online business, that they cannot tell you the name of the company that pays the commissions so as to not overwhelm you with information that you don't have to fear because the money is refundable, and a little else. In fact, it is forbidden to tell you the name of the company in this step, only that it is not recommended. Okay, in fact, it is not forbidden. Okay, sorry, I misread there. Um, Only that it is not recommended, because once the person searches for Enagic and sees the prices of the water machines, she will give up. No shit. Here, you will still not going to find out that you will have to buy a product or three if they manage to convince you with trifecta to be part of Enagic's business distributor. Because at that point, cold, without having seen the post on the Dream Team private group about how much money its members are making, you won't be willing to shell out a dime. They say this step in a filter that obviously, if you don't have the money to invest dollars, you can't get into a business like this. And that if you really want to change your life, you have to take the risk, take the plunge, and wait patiently for the next step for more information. Oh, this just makes me sick reading this. I mean, I already knew this is how it goes, but just still reading it from someone's experience is just making me want to vomit. Am I the only one? I mean, it's just like, ugh, it's just so awful. Okay. Part 3, the Dream Team. Your host family in the online world. And now, what is the next step? Well, you decide to pay the $149 with the promise of more information to follow. And while you have nothing to lose, as you have a limited time to decide whether to join or not, and in case you don't, you can ask for your money back. Well, you pay, and they immediately give you a warm welcome to their private Facebook group called the Dream Team. You get a rush. Hundreds of people welcome you. You think you're in the right place, because how is it possible that hundreds of people are faking it or not getting results in this business? You've hit the nail on the head. You've found the perfect business and the perfect team. Nice, caring, supportive, and nice, caring, and supportive people. This is the welcoming style of the private group, the Dream Team. And here is a post here. Hey there, Salami. How are you, my love? Good afternoon, Dream Team. Please help me welcome this person to our wonderful family. I will be your direct mentor, Aaron, even though they did not black it out there, but okay. Feel free to look forward and don't hesitate to reach out. Enjoy the pre-coaching videos and go ahead, book your call with this other person when you are ready. Looking forward to working with you and helping you change your life. Congratulations. Oh, okay, and then you're flooded with welcome, 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 welcome. And it goes on, because you guys have all seen that sort of thing. I just have a feeling you all have. They also usually create a welcome post to newcomers mentioning the following action. Taker alert. Oh, wait, following action taker alert. Okay. That's something that they use. I forgot about that. Is this action taker nonsense? With the tagline, which I also use in some of my posts, action taker of today is the millionaire of tomorrow. I don't know if you're noticing, but everything is aimed at giving you comfort and recognition to compensate for the blind steps you are taking, because there are still the most difficult steps, which are the purchase of one or more Enagic products. And you have to put all the arts to convince you of the potential of the business. Oh my goodness, no shit. I mean, they most certainly go out of their way to make sure that, I think you're in the right place. Action taker alert. Hello, Dream Team family. Please help me and Mitch give a warm welcome to our new action taker to our amazing community. Noelle, this is our private Facebook group where you will find incredible support. Take a look around and be inspired by all the success stories and product testimonials from action takers like us. Mitch and I will be your direct mentor, so reach out anytime. Enjoy your pre-coaching videos and book your coaching call with Coach this person when you're ready. Looking forward to help you succeed. Congratulations. Welcome, Noelle. Action taker of today is the millionaire of tomorrow. And then, of course, it's the welcome, 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 welcome. More of that stuff. The positive spirit is contagious, and little by little, you will start to be or to act like those who received you there. You will welcome all those who joined the group, congratulate those who have received profits in the payday, as they usually call a commission received from Enagic, etc. In a way, this is a space to be positive and motivating. This is the biggest win of the business when you pay the sum $149 to start receiving daily bombardments of these posts in the Dream Team with people living their live stream and showing their earnings. You are already sure that you will get your share too. Good gravy. All right. So this is the step in the process where you discover that you have to buy a very expensive machine. And hello there. I don't know if I'm saying your name right or not. Kishore, hello. And thank you so much for the pink hand wavings. I just love those. But this deterrent will be offset by the powerful convention strategy, which is to receive the daily impact of the Dream Team success postings. It won't be that hard for you to take the next steps. I felt, let's say, welcomed, but the extremes are there. So much positivity that nothing negative or questionable is admitted. Now, does that not sound like ONPASSIVE? Because it sure as fuck sounds like ONPASSIVE to me. Can't ask questions because that's negative. And you've got to be positive at all times. And that's in every single MLM, period, full stop. You can't post doubts or fears, sound familiar, or complicated questions. You should leave that to the mentor or coach. Otherwise, you'll spoil the look of the group. And the newcomer will have doubts when reading your own concerns. But, well, you get there again with a lot of doubts. You want to know the experience of others, of those people that with so much joy published in the group, their successes. And think about that. The amount of joy that has been expressed all the time with ONPASSIVE. Over what? Because they literally have nothing. Nothing to be joyful about. And yet they're joyous about waiting. And they don't even have a damn website. Craziness. Postings with the amount of money they have made, most of the time, thousands and thousands of dollars in a day or in a month, much more than what an average salary could give you. You keep convincing yourself, wow, I'll be the next one to make that kind of money. But the truth is that these people's posts represent a very small percentage of the 70,000 or probably now many more members that the team has. When you write to someone with questions, what will they reply? That you should write to your mentor, the person from whom you joined the group, that she will answer all your questions, and that no negativity or criticism is allowed in that public space. Except for it's not public, it's a private group. So why can't you question? Why can't you, express that you have doubts? Oh, because just maybe everybody else would start saying that too, huh? And you don't want that. Could that be a reason why ONPASSIVE 2, wants to kick people out of groups if you dare bring anything up? If you dare ask a question about like anything that you heard, if it's true or not, can't have that. No, 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 only positive. Questions are negative. Well, I just want to know how you're doing, man, from a personal point of view. Boom, a wall. They also tell you that you can count on the coach and write to him. That is the person with whom you will have a half-hour phone call. He will explain you the best way to start the business with trifecta and will clarify all your doubts. But generally, after the call, you will not talk to this person again. The coach will always be busy. So you will be referred to the mentor. Well, let's continue. You have limited time to watch the videos, and you already want to know what this business is all about in detail. Well, I mean, you should want to know, and that you should, be able to find out. It should not be such a mystery. Exactly. Don't accept the call. Yeah. You don't ever take the coaching call. Don't take that step, because then you'll never get your money back. Okay, sippy poo for me. Part 4, living on illusions and dying of disappointment. Enagic in its commission letter, Mike and Darren's marketing platform. You watch the videos, well organized to entice you even more. If you are not already sufficiently enticed and convinced that you are in the right place. Now, I, for one, have seen those videos. I've seen all of that training that, they've had there, unless they've changed it recently. And it's nothing that and maybe it's because even when I first saw him, it was not that long since I had left Beachbody. But even when I saw it then, it was not anything where I was like, wow, this is impressive. Hey, Darren, how are you doing, my love? However, if it's someone who has not been involved in an MLM and they're like just fresh off the boat, so to speak, and I don't mean that in terms of immigrants, but just like fresh out, they've never been involved in anything. They're just fresh. They're new to all of it. That I can see why people might be like, oh, wow, this is, you can kind of like be more persuaded by it than perhaps someone who's been through it. That's just my opinion of it. I mean, you guys might have another opinion. I don't know. I'd love what you say. So I'm only butterflies, unicorns, and rainbows. Exactly. Exactly. That's all you can have. Only happiness. No reality. Okay. Okay, if you are not already sufficiently enticed and convinced that you are in the right place, you'll see a few testimonials, as if that means anything, a fucking testimonial, of people who have changed their lives in a few months. What bullshit. They look and probably are good people
They seem nice, genuinely happy about the change. Indeed, those testimonials are true of a few people who have achieved success in proportion to the majority. How do I know this? It's not hard to do research on the private Facebook group, The Dream Team, although I learned that over time. There, everyone has to welcome the person they have recruited for the business. Therefore, you can find out how many people someone has managed to convince over time and whether they have been successful or not, because you can find out if the person you have recruited has also recruited someone else. In the group search engine, you can do your own research without having to ask anyone. Keep track of the results or lack thereof of each person. In the dream team, everyone seems happy, but in truth, hundreds cry in a sea of tears. These sadnesses are not expressed in the private group, nor are the high chances of failure. Yeah, because you're not allowed to do that. Let's continue. Among the pre-coaching call videos, you will also see for the first time the name and presentation of the company, Enagic, which sells water machines for prices over $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, as well as other products such as turmeric capsules or tea or water filters for showers and bathtubs, also at high prices. It presents itself as the leading manufacturer of alkaline ionizers and water filtration machines in the world, with a 40-odd years of experience and all the international certifications of this Japanese company has. Any information about Enagic is public on the internet. You drank Enagic water and did it and didn't need to buy a med bed. Wow. I would like to share with you the dollar prices of their products, which I've shared that with you. And I don't know if what we're going to see is different than what I shared, because I don't know if their prices have gone up. Because again, I don't remember when I received this. So, it's just, we'll find out together. Okay. So here we have it. And let's see. Good Lord, I got to make this larger for myself looking at it. Okay. So, and I cannot pronounce these stupid names. So I'm just starting, reading left to right. The first one has a 5-year, let me see. The first three have a 5-year warranty. So we've got 4,980, 3,980, and then 4,280. Then we have a 3-year warranty. But if you're an E8PA member, then you save $730, and it's $5,980. Then there's 3,000 years, 2 3-year warranties, one at 2,980, one at 1,980, and another 5-year warranty for 4,980. And then below it, you can see that shower thing, and that is a 3-year warranty, and that is 2,890. But again, that E8PA members save 590. And then you have this Yukon Tea bullshit, and it is on an auto ship, 760. The E8PA people save $80. Woo! And then you have this like new Yukon thing, and that is 30 boxes. Okay, and the first one was turmeric supplement, 10 boxes, a 4-month supply. Holy shit, for $760. Good gravy. Oh, thank you so much, Queen, for doing the fire for me. I really needed to see that. Good Lord. And so the next one is also the turmeric supplement, and it's 30 boxes, 12-month supply is $1,980. Woo! Who wants to spend that? Then there's the tea, 30 bags of this. You get an auto ship for 45. Then you can get the soap. And I'm telling you, my soap is a hell of a lot better than this soap. And 1 bar, $25. I'm not going to get into discussing whether or not such water machines are beneficial to health. In the scientific community, there are those who say yes, and there are those who are all with bated breath. Say no. You can research on the internet or with serious scientific sources, and you will see conflicting opinions. In other words, deciding whether or not alkaline water is beneficial to your health will basically depend on your faith in alkaline water. And I'm sorry. I'm not putting my faith in alkaline water. I'm just, oh my gosh. Hopefully the tariffs will increase the price of these products. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You know what? Let's just hope so, like for all of them, especially like for the US based ones that are like international and everything. That I Joe, thank you. That would be the only good thing that these tariffs are doing is to make all of these prices just even worse. Thank you so much for that, Joe. Chef's kiss. um, then you will see the most important video, the commission system. How does that work? Well, both for the direct and indirect sales. I will not go into details. We will have to watch that because I know I've seen it, years ago. But I mean, it's like this 8-point crazy ass system. And I mean, you saw all the crazy ass, their ranking is just like, I don't know who came up with that bullshit, but it's, and again, I think it's all designed just to confuse you because it does. It's like the most confusing ranking out there that I've seen in this crazy ass 8-point, tarantula thing. I don't know what's going on. It's just crazy. Just crazy. That's all I have. Anyway, I will not go into details because you can find many videos on the internet that explain it. And it is a bit complex. See, there you go. To explain if it is not done graphically, absolutely. The commissions are quite high, obviously, because the products are worth thousands of dollars. But they have got to make them really expensive if they're going to pay people too. Those commissions are the ones you will get if you get someone to join the business through you, just like you are thinking of doing now, convinced by seeing so many fantastic testimonials that will make you believe that with enough effort and dedication, you will be the next one to make it. All right, you're just about ready to go. You don't need any experience in technology. And although you don't really know what the training is about, you have been promised that anyone can go through it without major inconveniences because everything is there step by step. That's true. The training is not bad. I would say it's, well, as an instructional designer, just going through that one course, I would argue that their training isn't training, but that's just because I'm a professional. You can find that kind of training yourself on the internet, on Facebook ads, Google ads, etc. There are thousands of videos on tutorials on YouTube, completely free, and other much more complete courses for modest sums. Or you can find it free on YouTube. Just, start Googling yourself, But, well, here we have the advantage that everything is gathered in one place. We will not criticize more than what is fair. The trifecta, I forgot to mention it, is a way to enter the business that many choose, me among them, because it is supposedly the best way to start since you will start being 2A instead of 1A. And you will receive double the commissions you can reach perfectly by yourself if you start with only one machine and manage to sell 2 more. Then you will already be 2A and not be in debt of $10,000. maybe just a couple of thousand getting one of those damn machines. But, well, do you want to start as 2A? Then buy the trifecta. 3 products from Enagic, a machine better than K8, which is worth 4,980. My goodness. Some turmeric capsules for 1,000 or so. A water filtering machine for a shower or bathtub, that Anespa, which is worth about 2,890. Well, you cough up almost $10,000 and you're off to a great start in this business. This, although it positions you as a 2A, it is a simple and effective strategy to make you buy more products. Yeah. You need to what? You need to be a triple golden double diamond to make money, right? Jeepers, are they selling turmeric or saffron? Crazy prices. Yup, Violet, they are crazy ass prices. Absolutely crazy. Here is the commission chart for direct and indirect sales according to your level. Okay. Now, I'm not really sure what this, direct and indirect bullshit is. I'm sure at some point we can, watch a video and figure out that shit together. I used to know. But, I mean, there's only so much of this crap that you can hold within your brain, right? So I guess is 1A to 6A. Okay. So the rank does start out at 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, 5A, 6A. But then it has that crazy 1A, A2, or like whatever, all that crap. Remember that? Craziness. So I guess it goes from 340 to 680. Okay, and on up. So you can see at 6A, you would be making $2,040 from one of this particular machine. So it looks enticing. And then you have these different levels that you have, I guess, within it that you can fill up spots. I'm not really sure. So, and again, I'm not sure how all of this works, but we'll get to that. And okay, the units sold and all of that and the rankings. Okay. Woo. All right. We'll move on to the next part, which is the coaching call. And remember, once you take the coaching call, that's it. You cannot get a refund. The coach's call. How to get convinced to start with trifecta. Oh, doesn't that sound like a great idea? Goodness. And you guys, I want to let you know that I do want to, now that I've figured out Discord, that I will kind of get that back going, because I do want to start collecting more stuff on Enagic, because they're doing some interesting things. And that's all I'm going to say here. How they're doing this is interesting. And it, I think, could be very great if more eyes were on the lookout, so to speak. That's all I'm going to say about that. And we can talk about it. We can talk about it, my buddies, my friends. Okay. If you have reached this step, you should know that you will no longer get the $149 back, regardless of whether you say yes or no after the call. If you make the call, you lose that money up front, because that's the time coaches get paid for making the calls. Yeah, they get paid $50. The coach will logically try to be approachable and convincing. He will ask you about your goals and desires in starting this business. I'm sure they have a nice little script. Spidey senses are tingling. Yes, they are. Yep. Are they tingling for everybody? Are your spidey senses all going off on all of this? Because they should be. And of course, he will convince you that there is no better way to start the business than with trifecta. If you're going to start, do it the best way possible, right? Well, here we go. Head out there to get the $10,000, apply for a loan, or empty the savings account for the down payment you had in mind for the house of your dreams. If you start without trifecta, buying a single product and starting as a 1A, the minimum you can spend is $1,000 and some dollars. Gosh, that's a lot. That's a lot. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's hard. It was hard enough to get anybody to buy flipping anything from Beachbody, a fucking, challenge pack. They didn't want to spend that. And that was like $150 once upon a time. And this is like $10,000. Are you fucking kidding me? Jeez, Mose. Oh, you take the big step and say yes to your mentor and coach. They send you the paperwork to sign and pay. Once Enagic processes your order, they will send you the products in a few days or weeks. Products that, in my opinion, and after months of using them, are totally overpriced because water purification machines are available for hundreds of dollars or less, not for $4,980. And turmeric pills are available from very good companies for very reasonable prices. A machine to filter bath water and mineralize it does not cost $2,890. In the meantime, lest you lose your enthusiasm for the hit you've taken on your bank account, your mentor may post a message on the private Facebook group. Are you with bated breath? I am. The dream team, saying something like, official business owner, everyone will congratulate you for starting your own business in the best way. Jeez, got another sucker is what, a lot of them are thinking, because they're going, well, we ain't making dick over here. So yeah, you get to join in and be part of the, happy little seals and clapping away saying, yay! How much of my back payment from Social Security do they want? Can I get a pizza delivered before I join? No pizza for you. Oh my gosh. Abracadabra, training is unlocked. Prepare your pocket for Facebook advertising expenses. Hey, Ada, how you doing? As I said before, the training is not bad. And I'm going to say it's, again, as a professional, it is not difficult to find this info on Google and YouTube. The problem is that for those who know absolutely nothing about Facebook ads, this training will seem perfect. It is a set of videos and documents that you can watch and read at your own pace. Oh, I went through that with something I joined when I was with Beachbody. And that thing isn't around anymore. Isn't that? But I think I'm still in the group. Isn't that funny? And I stayed in all that kind of stuff just, because it's like, sometimes I want to look back at that and go, look at this shit. Okay, read at your own pace. It explains how to open an administrator account in the Business Manager, the creation of your ads, yes, like the one you saw and attracted you on Facebook for which you entered the business, basic questions about advertising on various social networks. The technical team will create a website for you, but you have to buy the domain and the professional email from GoDaddy. So keep in mind that there are more expenses. Moreover, you will have to define a budget for your ads, which you're not told about any of that up front. As if it wasn't enough that you have already paid, you must now psych yourself up and get ready to invest at least $300 per month in your ads. With $10 a day, some have been successful, but it will be very difficult with how competitive the market is nowadays. Facebook will not show your ad to the whole world, but to a very limited amount of people for that budget. So imagine you want to do it right like me and you decide to invest up to $20 a day, $600 a month for Facebook to sell your ads a little more. Oh yeah, I mean, that's really going to help. You will have to open a business page on Facebook, and you will post 3 times a day. This is what they recommend. Geez, I've heard that before. If you have a good rhythm for this task over the months, you will adopt a slightly annoying, not to say edulcorate and flippant posting style. I have made good decisions by joining this business. Okay, I got to change it for you guys. Sorry. I live on my own terms thanks to this business. Success is not a fluke, it comes from effort and dedication. It takes time to take charge of your life and take the plunge, along with images and famous motivational phrases like the ones that flood Facebook. It can be very exhausting, especially when you are promoting business benefits that you yourself are not receiving. Gee, that's like with all MLMs, isn't it? They also suggest a lot to share your life, your day to day life, so people see that you are real and not a scammer trying um, to sell you fake stuff. For reserved people like me, this was an overexertion, but it's all about the business, right? At first, you won't have any followers on your page. And to get to 50 organic followers so that Facebook will look favorably on you and allow you to run your first paid ad campaign, you'll ask for help from the Dream Team members who will gladly like your newly created business page. When these people create their ads, it is also very common for them to ask the members of the group to season it. Please help me season my ads so that interested people who see your ad don't know you will feel confident since others have already made complimentary comments about the business or have asked about what it's about. And of course, the newcomer to your ad will feel more confident by not being the first to ask. It's like a chain effect. They see someone who has already broken the ice, and it's easier for them to get emboldened and find out what it's all about. Once again, I was beginning to find this approach both unfortunate and disingenuous. Gee, you think? Part 6, the masterminds. How to keep you hooked on the law of attraction. Oh, everybody loves the law of attraction now, don't they? Said no one ever. At least, not that I know. Well, here comes one of the most interesting parts. After you come to the reason with clarity and without so much glitter around you, you wonder how on earth you got so alienated by the siren songs. I felt at ease. I'm not going to lie. I thought I was getting the best version of me with this system and with these people inside the business. It is precisely that feeling and that optimism, the false hope, plus the strength that they breathe into you every Wednesday to keep going that kept me putting hundreds of dollars every month into my ads. Wait, that kept me putting hundreds of dollars every month into my ads. Let me really read it with vigor. Every Wednesday, I would watch for an hour or maybe two, sometimes a little longer, Mike and Darren, sometimes other leaders, run the masterminds from their mansion in Canada. They are one of the few who have made millions with this system. And frankly, when you see what they have built with this business, which they don't hesitate to brag about, it gives you the delusion that you should continue because at the end of the day, no one is better than anyone else, and you are putting your best effort into it. I wasn't asking for that much, just to get my investment back. Of course, in some extra monthly income. Generally, in these masterminds, the story of someone successful in the business is presented. Generally, it is about a person who has had to work hard to get results, has been discouraged, and about to give up because he didn't see it working until one day he started to get results. So, how could you give up with all the road you had already traveled? The law of attraction, or the seed of sectarianism. This was now that would be a fun word for Marty to try to pronounce now, wouldn't it? This was one of the few things that struck me as odd from the beginning. Intentions are fine, positivism is fine, but you have to be realistic. That there can be no room for respectful criticism and no room to express your frustration or concern about the lack of results is not right. Damn Skippy. I've got to get a sip and then I'll flip it for you guys. This group likes to allude a lot. Oh my gosh, as do all of them, to the law of attraction. If you have negative ideas, you will attract negative effects into your life. And if, on the contrary, you throw yourself into life with optimism and gratitude, karma will do the same for you and you will be successful in personal life and business. It is very common to see posts and comments on the Dream Team about how blessed they are to have found this opportunity and to thank you to Mike and Darren for creating this system. Wow. Does that sound familiar? Like on Passive? It's all very well to be grateful for the things in life, but but this here goes overboard, especially since this business isn't exactly a blessing for most. But they are enraptured by the illusion of success of others, the dream team illusion. For this reason, they have a book that works as a Bible or bedside text within the group. And it is one of the first tasks they recommend to complete in the training. Reading The Magic by Rhonda Byrne. The book is not bad, although it's a bit weird about talking to the stone. But hey, if it helps people, that's fine by me. This book is basically about what I'm talking about, the workings of the law of universal attraction. And it has exercises to do every day. Because of things like this, at times the group felt like a cult to me. Gee, you think? The positive spirit that is generated is contagious. And I was explaining to the point that it can completely blind you. You too will welcome anyone who joins the Dream Team. You will say they are in the best business in the world. You will congratulate those who have made money and publish it. You will call sister or sis to your teammates within the group. You will thank Mike and Darren in the comments of their posts for the amazing system they have created. You will continue to make better ads and trying, and little by little, you will start to fall apart inside. Part 7. Who is successful in this business? The niche, chance, and ingenuity. This business is not about mastering Facebook or social networks or platforms where digital marketing is possible. I, besides passing the training, studied and learned on my own about Facebook ads and about marketing in general. And it didn't do me much good in practice except for acquiring pure knowledge. Gee, that sounds familiar. As I had explained before, I put a lot of hours a day. I sacrificed sleep time. Gee, that sounds familiar. Because I had to combine the business with my work. And I also had a lot of motivation and an important feeling of responsibility with my actions, since I had invested months of savings for this dream. Now, I'm fortunate that I did not spend this kind of money joining Beachbody. Thankfully, good Lord. It is a matter of luck most of the time, pure chance, if you find a virgin niche market. One that is susceptible to receive ads of this type and where the competition, your business partners have not arrived before, which most of the successful ones find without applying any particular strategy. You have hit the jackpot. Those I've seen succeed who have even presented their 6A or higher story at masterminds probably wouldn't have done any better than you. In fact, from many of these presentations, I could deduce that I consumed devoted an amount of time to the business that some of them had not required. And literally, they had gotten the surprise of great results without doing too much. Oh my gosh, why do I have a feeling this is going to be Agape in the orange shirt? Maybe not, because she's in the US and Agape is in Canada. I remember the case of a girl of African origin who had immigrated to the United States with little education and very low level English and zero technological or marketing knowledge, presented her story in a mastermind. It was already 6A2. See, there's that crazy ass, ranking that makes no sense. And she still could not believe the amount of money she was making. For her, evidently, this business was a blessing and the most recommendable in the world. And you looked at her and asked yourself, if she could, why couldn't I? Her niche market was people from her home country. If you looked in detail, researching the people on her team in the Facebook group, Dream Team, the team she was creating was made up of people who at least appeared to have a very candid and confident projection on Facebook. Perhaps people very unaccustomed to receiving this type of advertisement from a successful compatriot. Wow. That might be something. Changing it for you guys. Did not change. There we go. Here's the case of a lady who has reached level 6A2-3 in a dizzying way. These cases can be counted on the fingers of one hand in the business. You can find other 6A2-3 who are Enagic distributors, but do not belong to this group and have sold the products with other systems and who have spent many, many years to achieve it. Well, the person in question receives a lifetime monthly bonus from the company of $5,000. She exploited the still virgin Philippine niche market, climbing rapidly to that position. Now the business is flooded with Filipinos, and very few have such extraordinary results. Clearly, the niche is saturated. On the other hand, there is nothing unique about this person's ads. In fact, they are unsubtle in relation to the presentation of the business opportunity. I read them and it just makes my hair stand on end from the scammy results. If I had read these ads, I would have never joined the business. This is Mike and Darren's presentation in the group to celebrate the success of the lady who must be freaking out about Enagic bonuses. Big announcement. It's with immense pleasure that I announce my very first 6A2-3. This person has achieved this rank just shy of only 18 months of doing this business. Simply amazing is the only way to put it. Michelle truly has shown all of us what's possible. She's had multiple six-figure months, paid off a mortgage, bought a new dream home, been on multiple vacations, and so much more, all in less than a year and a half. She's humble, she's grateful, and she runs her business with so much grace, a true leader by example. And we are so blessed to be able to witness her journey and follow suit. It's been such a blessing to get to know you personally and share this experience with you. I can't wait to celebrate with you next week, Michelle. And I also can't wait to see what the future holds. I know it's going to be phenomenal. Enjoy that $5,000 per month minimum bonus. Oh, gosh. A little bit of statistics. Okay. And I'll do it for you. Thank you for the throw up. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking, Violet, pretty much. In the dream team, most will not be successful at all, contrary to what they will make you believe. If you try hard, persist, and invest more and more in ads, but let's talk with data that can be verified by anyone who pays the initial $149. If you go to today, okay, this is from 2021. Now we know when this was from. Yay! January 2021, there are just over 600 moderators in a group of 70,000 members. To be a moderator, to be a coach, you have to have reached 4A, meaning you've already had some sales along the way. Keep in mind that out of those 70,000 members, not all of them have become Enagic distributors. They have only paid the initial $149. So that's not the actual Enagic, and they're like their, dream team group. That's just the initial group, it sounds like. Why do you need so many damn moderators? Jeez, Mose. But then if you have all of these members, I guess they have all of these people. I'm not going to sit here and try to figure it out because you know what? It's going to give me agita. I'm not doing that to myself. I refuse. I just refuse. If you guys, want to figure it out, you go for it. But it's no, I'm not doing that. Anyway, they have only paid the initial $149 and they're just sitting there watching to see what happens. And if they decide to become Enagic distributors, fence sitter, as they are often called in the group. In the meantime, the publications of money earned on payday are working their magic on hesitant ones. Making a conservative calculation, let's say that of the 70,000, only 30,000 are distributors. That is, I am making a hypothetical calculation, assuming that less than half of them have decided to become Enagic distributors and have their own business, which is not really theirs, as you may have already noticed. This would yield that only 2% of those 30,000 distributors have some degree of success, or at least have managed to make some sales. Another tip, to find out who is running ads, therefore who 100% sure are distributors, you can head over to Facebook Ad Library. In this sort of ads library, you can put in the name of the business, which is usually the name of the person, so-and-so marketing, or things like that, and see if they have active ads. I spent many hours in Facebook Ad Library studying the ads of the competition, especially those that had succeeded. Another important issue is when you join the team. When this business started a few years ago, the competition was much smaller, obviously. They will tell you Facebook and networks are growing every day with more users and more people connected to the internet. There are seas of opportunities to find the right niche out there. This is true, but you have to realize also that a few years ago, there were very few doing those ads. And now Facebook, despite its growing number of users, is flooded with people who want to do the same as you. The team is growing by the thousands every month, and those, whether you like it or not, are your competition. Many of the Facebook users will be fed up with receiving similar advertising from you and your competitors and will start reporting those ads on the platform. I know many, many cases of complaints because those annoyed people have explicitly expressed it in the comments of the ads. I did get a few buyers. Some of them became distributors, but I didn't even come close to paying the debt of my entry fee. One fine day, after months of work, I made the decision not to throw any more money at ads that I had no idea if they were going to work or not. Neither I nor my mentor. I knew that if I didn't stop the monthly spending of $300 to $600, I even went as high as $800 a month on one occasion, would have to continue in the hope that the time would come when someone would take the bait. On the other hand, I was beginning to get a bad taste for the procedure. It seemed to me ethically dubious, even though there were plenty of good people in the business. It has nothing to do with one thing with the other, but I think we have all been deeply brainwashed over time with the techniques I mentioned earlier to convince us that the procedure is fine and it is completely ethical, legitimate, and authentic business, as hundreds like to boast in their ads in the face of the fears of skepticism of interested parties. It's all very subtle from the outside, and without having started it, may appear to you that one is foolish, but when you are involved and are driven by a dream, it is very easy for such well-planned tactics to play with your brain. I felt bad not being able to offer all the information from the beginning. It's not that it was forbidden, it just wasn't suggested because the system was set up to dose the info so that you get the right stimuli at the right time, like joining the dream team when you're watching the pre-coaching call videos and you're finding out you have to buy $1,000 machine. That pays off because joining the dream team with all the testimonials of success makes you believe that you will more than make your money back. It's really quite sad. I had to hide information from them and give it to them a little at a time. I had to let the dream team effect work. And this only happens after they decide to pay $149 by taking a blind step. Do you understand how twisted it all is? A business that requires such a high investment, in my opinion, has to dot the I's and cross the T's from the beginning. Things very clear, all the pros and cons on the table, not all the subtle management to convince you, nor the dream team, which is like an hallucinogenic drug to play with your brain. You can't put so much investment money in just because it seems like everyone else is successful, nor because for sure if you work hard, you will succeed. I put effort and desire into everything I do in life. And this business is all noise and no action for most of the people involved. This system of dropper in a proportion of information saves their asses because they can't be blamed for anything. You alone have taken the steps to become a distributor. Yep, exactly. Nonstop joy on passive. Exactly. That's exactly why I'm reading this, because it's very similar, even though it's different, but also that keeping you positive, keeping you believing. That's there. Oh, did I change this for you guys? Let me go look back up and see because this looks different. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't change this for you guys. Come on, change for me. I'm so sorry. All right, I'm sorry. Okay, so alone you have taken the steps to become the distributor. So, I mean, there it is right there is like, hey, we can't be blamed. That right there just makes me boil. On the other hand, there was the moral commitment to the people I had attracted to the group and turned into my team, none of whom had any results, despite all the meetings we had together to plan the best way to present our ads or case studies according to each one's particular background and interest that would be useful to better define their potential audience. It was starting to be painful to see these people, my team, pretending happiness for the supposed golden nugget found with the business and breaking down with me because of how frustrated they were at the lack of results. Sadly, I could only give them words of encouragement and cheer and think of new ways to do better. The same thing my mentor was doing with me sometimes to keep me operational in the business and attract more people, which, of course, would benefit him. I began to be disgusted by my own ads. And that's a bitter pill right there. But it's one of growth. Reaching this part, this is where the growth is. Learn from conclusions, learn from every failure. I don't like to cry over spilt milk. You have to face the decisions you make, even if the consequences hurt. One has to know when to wake up from the dream and say enough is enough, and also see what is profitable. There is always something profitable to be found in the incursions one has in life. This business has helped me to grow in an online world where it is very easy to get carried away by siren songs because nowadays marketing strategies are very sophisticated. I try to get something out of everything that happens in my life and experience. This was not the business that changed my life. This was a lousy business in which I lost an amount of money that took me years to collect. And on top of that, I was convinced that I was going to multiply it more than enough. They came at the right time, just when I needed them to tell me, come on, this is the right business, and we are going to help you get it. You might be in that situation right now. You're trying to make a decision. You're scared. You're skeptical. And it's good that you are. Don't let yourself be dazzled and weigh the facts well. This explanation I am giving you is to save you headaches and to know how well the whole system works from the beginning to end. And what can you expect? That not everything is so great. There is no business opportunity like this out there, they will tell you. Does that sound familiar? Because don't they say that on passive? This is the only one. You might get lucky and get results, but don't leave your money to luck. Beware of siren songs and brainwashing. I don't consider myself a dumb person. I graduated from college with honors and have several graduate degrees, but still, I let myself be bewitched. One thing has nothing to do with the other. There are a lot of smart people here who have screwed up like me and have realized it a bit late, but at least they realized it. Attention. You will most likely hear them repeat ad nauseum, this is not MLM, that this is not a pyramid structure. But let me disagree. Their main argument will be that of direct sales because you, a newcomer, through direct sales, can make more money than your mentor or coach who started before you and is higher up in the chain. But this is not argument enough. It is still a multi-level marketing scheme. But this is a very long topic that would give for yet another presentation. You can investigate for yourselves how such schemes work and draw your own conclusions from the information I have provided. Well, one thing is they're a member of the DSA. That's always kind of like a dead giveaway right there. Back to my conclusions. From every failure, a learning experience. I have acquired new knowledge. I can definitely now use the tools of Facebook and other social networks for marketing in a more transparent and honest way in a venture that does not involve so many dark areas. I know that my next steps will be safer, and I'm no longer afraid of falling in love with a similar business model, which only produces disappointments. I have a better idea of how things work on the internet, product of all my research to do better in that business and get results. And above all, I do not let myself be bedazzled by anything, nor by what seems to fit perfectly by first evidence and impressions. You have to dig deep like a detective. And if they don't give you the right information, get out there. Never give money until things are clear. I repeat once again that I do not intend to affect with this to people who have been successful, who still have, or some who surely still will. I just want to warn those who are starting out to evaluate all the facts before making a decision and try to put excitement aside, think with a cool head, go into details, and then decide. You could say that I have been a model of a good student and worker in this business, a model of application. I followed the training step by step religiously. I even studied it completely more than once. I never missed a mastermind. I bought and studied many other courses on Facebook ads, Google ads, and social media advertising to delve into all possible resources that would allow me to distinguish myself from the competition and act on a niche market receptive to my message. Draw your own conclusions and good luck in your next ventures on the internet. And that is the end of it. Well, what did you guys think? Oh, go back down here. What did you guys think? I think that was pretty powerful. I think it was very brave and self-reflective to put it all down. And I think it's also to be commended to want to warn others and also to try to help people to stop and think and to do their own research and to dig deep. I really like that, like a detective. And that's what I do after the fact now, as does Queen. Anyone who's doing content, out there. I mean, I guess most people who do, I don't know all the content creators, on all the different platforms, but I would say there are many who do their own research or have people doing research. I mean, research is done. I guess some better than others. Some still learning. I myself am always learning, and I hope to always continue to learn. I'm not the brightest crayon in the box, but I'm also not a dull crayon either. I'm a curious crayon. And when something just doesn't smell right to me, I want to know why and what is going on. And then If it's hard to find information on it, that should be an enormous red flag. And if you can only find positive things, that too should be a warning on these alleged business opportunities. When everything looks just, hunky-dory, hunky-dory, hunky-dory. Because no business is 100% just, sunshine, rainbows, and butterflies. As somebody earlier said, it's not. There's always something. And sometimes that's okay. But when it comes to these opportunities, the lack of questions, the lack of being able to just complain or be like, oh, this just isn't working, or why are we waiting so long? Why hasn't something happened? I mean, to not be able to be reflective on all of that and just have to pretend like everything is okay, that is not. When you are in that sort of environment, that's exactly when you should go, there's something rotten in dead. There's a reason why they're trying to keep me trapped. They don't want me to look elsewhere. Especially if I can only find information in a particular area that I'm told, only look here. And that's very much what the Dream Team does. They keep people from knowing anything so they can't go and look elsewhere. Very much like, another organization we know about who doesn't want people to look anywhere else. If I stop learning, I stop living. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. And Joe, I agree with you. Very impressive. Yeah. And I think overall that story is very fitting for anybody joining any of these opportunities. Even though each one has their different nuances, there is a thread within it that's familiar. It's familiar tune. I mean, I felt the familiarity of it, even though I never had been a part of Enagic. Because I think once you have been in one of these things and you look into another, you relate to it. You know what it's like to be pulled in. And right now, I am just so thankful that I was not pulled in for thousands upon thousands of dollars. So glad. And that's what I had to share with you guys tonight. There's always more. There's always stuff. And, I will be back. My voice seems like it's going. Good night. I feel like I sound like I don't know, like I've been smoking 1,000 cigarettes and I don't smoke. Anyway, I want to say thank you to everyone who participated in the chat. Thank you to any of the lurkers as well. And hopefully I will get something, set up. If anybody has an opinion on which one I should set up, let me know and drop it in the comments. Also, if you haven't subscribed or anything, do that subscription thing, subscribe, thumbs up the stream so other people can see it and all of that sort of stuff. Because I know that anything I'm doing about the Dream Team, it's not really being seen. And I really wish that it was, because I think it's very important to get more really concrete information about the inner workings of this out there. And that's what I intend to do. That, and to talk more about anything going on where people are taking advantage of older adults. But anyway, thank you again. Don't forget, you're beautiful and I love you. Until next time, have a good one, everybody. And I'll see you then. Good night, all.